You know, everybody's talked about the Google search, the Google search, the Google search. Oh my gosh, the Google search, right? And then you've heard, maybe, I don't know, I'm assuming everybody's heard about the Fit Health app data that recorded John O'Keefe's every step in the Karen Reed murder trial. Well, I'm going to share with you the link where you can go and read. So basically, if you don't want to know ahead of time, okay, what the experts are going to say, but the expert has pretty much already testified via motion. Okay, he filed a pleading and he stated what his statements were going to be, what he's going to testify. Now, granted, the trial is pretty much everything that's already been shared via discovery, maybe a little bit more detail, but we can see everything ahead of time. The trial is for the purpose of the jury to see everything that basically we've already seen. We know what the defense has. We know what the prosecution has. Well, if you've been following the case, if you've watched the pretrial motions and whatnot. So this is an expert. I'm going to leave the link in the description. Then I'm going to these guys, News Nation. Oh, they make me so mad. It's just, I don't know. They just put cringy stuff in their. It's like this particular article here is by Daily Mail. And their quote, you know, they're sharing News Nation, but you know, they just put cringy stuff in there. Like, you don't need to put what trolls are saying on there, okay? But anyways, it's interesting that this particular article is wanting people to believe that you're not going to be able to access the documents. And I'm like, I don't like, that's really what they're trying to tell you here. I mean, they're going on and on and on about how secrecy of Massachusetts, you can't get the documents, you can't even determine whether judges' decisions are correct. You know what I'm seeing here? I'm seeing people telling people don't even try to get the documents. Don't go after the judge. You know, you can't even get the documents. Forget about it. There is one document that was impounded that public can't access, and that's the animal control records, because of course, once her father hired a private investigator and found out about the dog had attacked two other people, and he covers that on I believe back in April. Anyways, so yeah, I'm going to show you about the dog attacks here real quick. Oh, and the human hair, by the way, remember the human hair that they talked about was on his car? Turns out it wasn't even human hair. Okay, so they have their own expert witness. But then this person who works for the state, just to tell you the difference between her qualified experts. She's got the best expert witness that went through the analysis of Jen McCabe's phone and the Fit app of John O'Keefe's phone to show exactly where he was, how many steps he took, going up and downstairs. But yeah, she failed her proficiency test. This is the quality that the state's using, that a person who could not even pass an exam literally the month before they evaluated this hair, she failed her exam. On specific exam was how to determine if a hair is human hair. Anyways, so it's a war between experts when it goes before the jury. But this expert here that they have, just so you know, the things the defense hasn't presented their stuff yet. When they get to presenting their stuff, that's what they're going to be presenting. That they have DNA expert as well. Of course, Lally, that's why you're seeing this motions that he's found recently to try to squash experts, specifically that the FBI said with their 3 PhD experts that car did not kill him. Anyways, because basically they're calling him a liar without coming after him and prosecuting him. They're saying, dude, your evidence is bunk. Our experts are saying that it's not consistent that any car caused those injuries. And they have an expert that also says unequivocally, without doubt, his injuries on his arm is caused by a dog. Animal attack. Anyway, so here we go. Talking about this search, but specifically it talks about I'm going to give you a link to the expert witness who literally has already testified via his motion, but the jury hasn't seen it yet. But you can go ahead and review it. I'll put the link for you. But I just want you to see, like what I was showing you about this article. When you see these media people, like I don't do News Nation, and I surely don't do Daily Mail. This is a cringy article, and especially lying to people, telling them that they want you to be discouraged from getting a public document. Looky here, look what I got. Look what I got. I got some expert witness straight up filed in court. Like, why are they even doing this? Why are they saying you can access stuff? Anyways, because they don't want you to. Okay, so here's where the dog. Did you know that their dogs was attacked other people? They testified that it never attacked anybody. They wanted to keep these records secret from the defense. They were willing to lie to keep them secret. These records have now been brought to the court and revealed that Chloe attacked not just one but two people in the past, sending them both to the hospital. But now think about it. They testified. They in fact testified under oath at trial that their dog never attacked anybody. Now you need to think about that. If they have evidence to prove that in fact it attacked other people, why were they allowed to get on that stand? Because that's where Lally is colluding criminally suborning perjury, which means you know that there's evidence that what they're saying is not true, and you're leading them to commit perjury. So he really should be disbarred. And anyways, I mean, why do you think that they would get on the stand and lie, claiming that Chloe never attacked anybody, but for they know that they're going to be protected by the judge? This is my position on the judge being suspicious. This is how you can go after this judge. And that's why it irks me. It irks me that this particular news article is saying you can't make decision on whether the judge's decisions are correct. I'm like, yeah, you can. They're trying to say you can't even get the documents to weigh whether the decisions are correct or not. I'm like, yes, you can. Don't listen to them. Okay? So you can get these records, and people can file a petition, and they can go to the Judicial Removal Commission and say, listen, there's suspicious behavior because the judge has seen these records of where they have, in fact, this dog has attacked other people, and this DA is obviously encouraging people to lie on the stand. And why would these people lie on the stand knowing there's evidence that they can face perjury charges, but for the judge has given them assurance that she's not going to let them be impeached, and they have not been allowed to be impeached. Okay, so there's that. Oh my gosh. So let me go back to 123. So also, this analysis about the Fit app, there's, in case you didn't know, in your phone, unless you disable it, there is a Health Fit app, and it literally records your every step. So it shows consistency of the timing of when John Okeefe arrived at the house, and it shows how many steps that he took, him going up and down stairs, and this is after she left, because you have her EDR on her car shows when she left. You have her phone recording where she went, and so she was gone while he's making footsteps. Okay, so these are things that you have not seen in the trial yet. Okay, because the defense hasn't presented their side yet. So you're getting a sneak peek. All right, just saying. Okay, so on here, it's basically there's a DNA fraud. They outright accused him of DNA fraud. Okay, because they had that hair that has already been DNA tested was not even human hair. But yet here we have again, they went into court and lied. So they're just like, we don't care if you have experts that show that we're liars. We don't care, because our goal is just to make it out to be an expert witness war and let the jury decide. But this is not how it works. This is not how the system is supposed to work, because when you have stuff like this, and scroll on down here. Oops, sorry guys. This is Jennifer Okeefe. It shows specifically She was operating her phone when she made the search. It showed that she opened her phone at such a time. This is the breakdown. This is the expert analysis. The best expert in the country. You know how much this costs? Okay, but anyways, expert witnesses are very expensive. Okay, they travel all over the country. But anyways, this guy it tells in this detail. I put the link in the description, so if you want to review this, you can review it yourself. This is public record. Don't let anybody tell you that public can't go get access to stuff in court. Now, there may be some things they may, seal or whatever. It might be minor, or the animal control records. Yeah, they impounded those. Anyways, that means that the public can have access to them. So this is John Okeefe's phone. It shows 12:11 to 12:21. Okay, so this is probably when he's like leaving the bar. Okay, so it has like these groups of minutes. This is like, it has like sections of steps for every few minutes. So from 12:11 to 12:21, he took this many steps, which probably when he was leaving. Okay, so then once he arrives, though, look at this. From the last steps that was measured was at 12:32 a.m. So it appears that for probably approximately 10 to 11 minutes, he was inside that house, and then something happened. And my personal opinion, originally before I knew about the Higgins stuff at trial, I just thought that it was a dog attack, and that because he had these big swollen eyes, that can be caused by brain injury. It can be, but when Higgins, he didn't have any communications with John at the bar. He was texting his girlfriend. Like, well, and so then when she blew him off, okay, and then he starts texting John, and John had communicated with him, making sure he's come to the house. And so I kept thinking in my mind, why would John, because he knew about the kiss, because I think she kissed him to make him jealous. I think she was probably, and I could be wrong, I don't know, but it just seems to me that she kissed him right in front of the camera. I'm like, come on, she knew the camera's there. I think, a lot of girls do that, and guys do it too. I think it's almost like an insecurity thing, especially when they had something like that woman flirting with him, and I'm sorry, but she was. Are you happy? I've known after he had an argument with his girlfriend. Anyways, I think she was just wanting him to see if he was jealous. Would he get mad? Like, does he, when somebody's jealous, even if you're a manager and they get jealous, that's because they love that person. I know that it's not a healthy thing. Jealousy is not a healthy thing, but she kissed him in front of the camera. She knew the camera was there. And so she's proving to him that she ain't got nothing. She's like, he wasn't serious. I'm not serious. There was nothing, and she even makes a comment about kissing on Carrie and some other guy too. She's like, it was nothing. So she totally ignores him at the bar. And did he know about the text message? Did she show him the text message that he had sent her while they're on the way there? Was he going there to confront him? Like, dude, leave my girl alone. You're supposed to be my friend. Did an argument happen? Because why did he go from texting her, not saying anything to John at the bar, and then she blows him off. She doesn't respond whatsoever. So then he texts him, are you coming to the party? Hadn't said nothing to John all night. No, he was texting his girlfriend. And I just think, what happened? I don't think she wanted to go in there because he was there. It's like, did she show him that text message? Like, see, babe, look, he was texting me and I totally ignored him. I told you it didn't mean anything, because obviously she's trying to work it out with him, because she's chumming, all loving on him and blowing Higgins off. So something happened, because he arrives, you go back and you look at the dates and the times of when there was the text messages about the time that he arrived, and the text messages, like, are you coming in, and that kind of stuff. And you look at the time frame, okay, from here to here, which this is about the time he arrived, from here to here, he's making steps. He's taking steps, okay. And then at 12, now this 12:21 to 12:24, so you've got about a 4 minute range here, 3 to 4 minute range here. He takes 80 steps. Okay. This is the combined amount right here, the total amount. And then he's going up and down stairs. This is after they arrived. You can look at the text message and see what time they arrived, that they were texting each other here. Okay? And you could look at the time where the guy was behind him and saw that they were there. And you could see this ascending and going up and down stairs. He's there at the house. And then after he goes up and down stairs, he takes 36 more steps. And that's it. This little range of movement right here was the last movement he ever made on his own free will. So he was attacked very soon after he arrived. And so there you have it. This is like DNA evidence because this is him. And his phone was with him. And he was on his phone. And yeah. And interestingly, in this, you're going to find out that there was communications between him and Jennifer that was deleted. Because there's a bunch of stuff in his phone to her, but none of it is there in her phone. So he says that there was a bunch of stuff deleted from her phone. More than what is even more than what's been revealed so far in the trial. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet, right? You've seen what the states allowed you to see. This stuff has not been presented yet. Has been presented in court, but has not been presented in trial, nor to the jury. So I'm going to leave a link in the description for you so you can see that this is public record, and don't listen to these media people. All they do is put this negative stuff in here about people saying bad things about her online. It's like, okay, I have done a polling of all the places online, and it's 80-20. And people have actually done polls. And in their individual subscriber polls or people watching their streams or whatever polls, it's 80-20. And across the internet, it's 80% for her or the defense or against the state, however you want to categorize it. And about only 20% or, and it's I think the number is going up that are against the state. They're just because the defense has not even began to present their evidence yet. Okay, they're going to have experts come in here, and the FBI, Lally is trying so hard to get the FBI kicked out. And the way the judge was talking, she was acting like she wasn't agreeing, like wanting them to be called. And they're fighting it. So pray for the evidence to be allowed, and pray for the Okeefe family too, because it's sad, because I think, these are the parents, older conservative people, and they just probably just trust the state, and I do feel frustrated with them sometimes. It's just like, how can they not, but they just trust the state. And I don't think they've seen all this stuff, they're just listening. They're just looking at her like, oh, they've been deceived, And anyways, I certainly don't agree with anybody calling them names. That's not appropriate. But pray for the truth to come out, for every expert witness to be allowed in. And I specifically ask people to, if you want to protest, please go to the governors, the attorney generals, the congressmen, and just rally and just demand, put your energy there, okay? Because we all know that people are classified as witnesses right now, technically should be defendants. We know this. But you still have to obey the law that says you cannot, there's laws that specifically protect witnesses. And so it's only hurting the case to give them ammo to use against the defense by saying they're being harassed. That just gives to the devil. It just gives them ammo. Like, why do that? And we need to hold our people in power accountable. So those AGs and the governors, they need to be held accountable. I'm finding so many cases in Massachusetts. I know there's places all over the country. My own county sheriff was just fired the other day because for embezzlement and some kind of crime, felonies he was charged with. It's across the country, but specifically right now in the state of Massachusetts, the state police organization have a serious problem. So people, the attorney general and the governor, Pressure them. Go to them and say, listen, look at this evidence. This is unacceptable. This is the same kind of evidence that causes people to get convicted. This is the same kind of evidence that they use, the state and feds use to prosecute people. So it's just not even appropriate. But they're just trying to turn everything into an expert witness war instead of using the evidence that they know proves that they have people in power that need prosecuted, removed. So please use your energy that way. Anyways, that's it for now. And I hope you have a good one. And, if we don't agree, we can agree to disagree. If you're not, agree with whatever my position is, that's fine. But if I see deception, like this is what I'm seeing deception, and it just goes through me. I don't accept it. I rebuke it. I won't tolerate it.